Hello, this is Emily. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be doing a book unhaul to make room for some more books on my shelves. I think I have about 27 books to unhaul, so I'll give you a brief explanation of why I'm unhauling them and just hop right on into this video. First, I have The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. And this one, I got a few chapters in. I just kind of lost interest in it, so I decided to unhaul it because if I don't have any interest to read it, why should I just keep it on my shelves? Next one is The Library of Legends by Janie Shane. This one I did read, and I believe I gave it 3.5, 4 stars. However, I probably won't ever reread it. It's more of like a one and done deal for me, so I'm gonna unhaul it and donate it so someone else might find joy in reading it. I have The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. This is a book set during the Great Depression, and I really did enjoy it. However, I didn't care much for the ending, and it's a literary fiction, and so I probably am not ever going to reread it, but I'll gift it to someone that will probably enjoy it just as much as I did. I have Sky Falling. I really love this cover, and this is about a woman who donated her eggs over a decade ago, and then that egg, which is now a little girl, came back to find her. And this was a decent read. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. However, I'm not going to reread it, so I'm going to donate it so someone else can enjoy it. I have The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker. This is a book I really wanted to enjoy because I really love the premise of it. However, I only got like a couple chapters in and just could not stand the writing style, so unfortunately I'm getting rid of it, and maybe someone else will mesh better with this writing style. Next I have I Hope You Get This Message. This is a book that has sat on my TBR for like almost 3 years, and I just haven't felt the urge to pick it up, and I figured since I haven't picked it up yet, I'm just going to unhaul it, and maybe someone else will love it because I just don't care to read it right now. I have The Last Son by Katie Edwards. This is another book that sat on my TBR for a while. I think I tried to read a few pages in and then kind of lost interest and set it back down, and since then I haven't picked it up, so unfortunately I'm unhauling it, and maybe someone else will find joy in it. I'm getting rid of Wuthering Heights. I read it, and I think this is probably one of my least favorite like classics I've read, and therefore I want to get rid of it because I just didn't care much for the story. I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a book I've read, but I think this is the weakest of her works. I'm probably never going to reread it because I just didn't care much for it. And I also have Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. This is another classic. It was alright, but not one I want to reread, so I want to get rid of it. And then I have The Incarnations by Susan Barker. Sorry, I almost said Baker. And this one I got on sale, and then I just kind of had it sitting there for quite some time and just lost interest in it. So I'm going to get rid of it because I don't think I'm ever going to get around to reading it. Kira Kira by Cynthia Katahata. This is one I did read. I thought it was kind of meh. Maybe for a younger kid they would have enjoyed it much more because the writing is geared towards middle grade, later education years. So I'm gonna unhaul, and maybe someone else will love this book. I also have The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. This is another one that I thought was kind of meh. The writing style is kind of geared more towards like younger teens, so I think that's kind of why I didn't care much for it. So I went unhaul it, and maybe someone else will fall in love with it. Moby Dick. This is one I did read through. However, I'm probably never going to reread it. I've read it twice in my lifetime, and I think twice is good enough for me, so I'm going to unhaul it. And I have Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche, and this is another one I'm probably not going to reread it. I've read it once, and that's good enough for me. Next I have Sons of Mortuary and More Stories of Sherlock Holmes. This is one I've read a few of the stories from, and then it's set on my shelves for probably over a decade, and I never actually finished it off, so I'm going to unhaul this one. I have Steelheart and Calamity. These are the US cover editions. I have not started this series yet. However, I have since ordered the UK editions of the whole series, so I'm unhauling these editions because I prefer the UK covers. I'm unhauling my copy of A Fairy of Bones and Gold and All Souls Near and Nigh. I did read this one in its entirety a few years ago and did enjoy it, and then I tried picking this one up and I just couldn't get back into the story, so unfortunately I'm unhauling both books just because I don't feel like forcing myself to continue on with the series if I've lost interest. I'm getting rid of my copy of Love and Other Disasters. This is another one I read. It was a mediocre read, so I'm going to get rid of it, and maybe someone else who prefers contemporaries will fall in love with this book. I tackled The Girl Who Drank the Moon this past month. Unfortunately, I was another one that I was kind of like meh on, so I'm getting rid of this one too, just because I feel that someone else will love this book a lot more than me, and I just don't want to sit on my shelves if I never plan on rereading it. Bloodsucking Fiends is another one I'm getting rid of. I read it. It was okay. However, it just doesn't live up to the A Dirty Job series, so I'm probably not going to reread this, and I thought long and hard, and I don't really feel the interest in picking up the follow-ups to this book. Getting rid of Dating Dr. Dill. This is another contemporary romance. It was alright, but not something I plan on rereading again, so it's going in my unhaul pile. I'm getting rid of The Beast Player. This is another TBR vet that I've never actually picked up, and so I don't want it to keep collecting dust, so I'm going to get rid of it. Last but not least, I have A Conspiracy of Truths and A Core of Lies. Both of these have sat on my shelves for a few years, and I never got around to reading them, so I'm going to unhaul them, and maybe someone else will like to read them instead. Well, that's it for today's video. If you enjoy, feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons down below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.